सुतां च मद्राधिपते लक्ष्मणां लक्षणैर्युतां स्वयंवरे जहारैक स सुपर्णः सुधामिव. My blissful gorgeous self, King Brihatsen was a philosopher, emperor of Madra Empire. He was such a lover of wisdom that even Devarshi Narad was drawn by his personality and visited him often. Those were the days. Life was not too complicated as now. Life was so smooth and natural that even kings in the royal assembly was not pressured by lots of duties and responsibilities. So whenever Naradji came, even in the midst of royal assemblage, the discourses on wisdom started out. Everyone enjoyed and participated, my dear friends. Little princess loved her daddy so much that she wouldn't leave him even when he went unto his royal duties. She sat next to the king in the royal assembly, right on the throne. Obviously, she also participated in wisdom talk of Narada and her father. When she grew up into a mesmerizing beauty of sweet 16, still her seat in the assembly remained unchallenged. With her mastermind excellences, she would help her father in his royal affairs. Narad was a skywalker sage, a yogi, a master who traveled through space, appeared only wherever he wished, wherever the qualified people gathered together. Oh, holy sire, when you are not here, where do you go? Princess Laxmanaa asked Naradji one day as soon as he appeared in the royal assembly. And Naradji said, I go to Dwarka, my baby. And the princess said, is that a jungle with birds, lots of birds and beasts, holy sire, with whom you meditate, or only an empty sea beach? And Narad was surprised, and he said, oh princess, how can I describe? Dwarka is the magical city of gold. It is a magical universe in itself, most prosperous and magnificent. Then the princess asked, then what attracts you there in that utter materialism? And Naradji said, no materialism, baby, no materialism at all. There lives Krishna, my little girl. Krishna lives there. He is the most handsome youth of your age, yet master of all yogas and wisdom and mysticism I talk about. Is that so, holy sire? The princess was surprised and asked, master of all wisdom? Then could you please bring him here next time when you come? And Naradji said, oh princess, how can I do that? He is too big, too busy to bring here, Naradji said. Okay. So, and then he added, why don't you come with me sky walking? I will introduce both of you. You will then know each other. And princess said, oh, holy sire, will you take me with you? Father, may I swim through the sky to reach Dwarka city and meet Krishna, please, father, please? And the king addressed sage Narada and said, please tell us about Krishna and his pastimes. Now Narada's words flowed and overflowed, depicting the wonderful Leelas of Sri Krishna, my dear friends. Days came and went. Princess is absorbed in thoughts of his Leela Katha. Now all her activities just happen automatically, and she is lost in oblivion most of the time. She has lost interest in any other thing. She sits in the garden near lotus blooming pond and just think and think on and on. Days and nights became too small. She no longer goes to the assembly now. Narada still comes. He comes in the palace searching for the princess and finds her in the garden and speaks to her for long, which is the only thing that cheers her up. Friends come, brothers come, mothers and father also come and ask her, Laxmanaa, what happened to you, dear baby? Why you don't socialize anymore as before? I am fine. I am just all right, father. And she says, and she keeps silence, gets lost in oblivion again. One day all kinsmen saw and said, don't you see? We need to get her married now. That will bring tears back on her face. Queen told the king, you are right. I had completely forgotten that she has really grown into marriageable age. Let's do that, king consented. Our princess is extraordinary in beauty, intellectual brightness and strength. We want the best of our time in the whole world. In that case, the condition of wedding has to be the toughest. That alone can get us the cream of the world, king said, and asked the relatives. And he then looked at the minister and said, what do you think? And minister said, I have an idea, His Majesty. Recently there held an assembly for self-election of groom conducted by King Drupad of Panchala state, the Swayamvar Sabha. Just copy that up with one addition which could make it tougher. Everyone liked that idea. The news spread far and wide. Even Indra, Agni, Varun and others came and requested the king to marry with the princess. She refused and then appointed a yogi at the door of hall to detect humans and superhumans and not allow the superhumans at all. A magnificent hall was built with thousands of seats, decorated with gold and gems and jewels. At the center, near the podium, was a water reservoir. Beside it was a huge, hard and heavy bow with only one arrow. 40 feet above was a discus by the ceiling, revolving fast with the speed of light. Right above it was an wooden fish. Now the warrior has to use that bow and look into the water, find out the reflection of the fish and point his arrow towards it and shoot. If you fail the fish in one shot, princess will be yours. Assembled kings requested, let the princess come before us, then we try. King denied, and he said, when you succeed in fulfilling the condition, only then princess will appear and to read the accomplisher. Trial began. Large number of youths could not even lift the bow up. Whosoever lifted and tried to string it were flung away as they used all their might to bend it to put a string on it. Peals of laughter echoed on every such failure, my dear friends. Scared of such insult, 1/4 of the kings did not even try. Half of the gathering of the audience tried and failed. Then rose the famed ones, the mighty ones, King Jarasandha and King Dantavakra and King Shishupal. And they all lifted the bow, strung and shot, but were incorrect. They returned to their seats all ashamed. King Duryodhana tried, and his brothers tried, Karna tried. When all of them failed, here rose up Bhimsen, and he walked royally. And the Karna said, "You look good only on dining table and wrestling. Archery is not your business." Karna's sarcastic remark angered Bhimsen, and he looked at him with red eyes. He went further, and he lifted the bow with one hand, strung it playfully, and looked into the water for a while, but could not locate the fish because the discus was revolving too fast. He unstrung the bow and placed it back and walked up to his seat. Now Karna rose up. He walked up to the bow, lifted it, strung it, then stared down into the water. He could not spot out the fish. He shot it anyway. He missed, bent his head in shame. He returned. Suddenly Bhimsen's word echoed, "You are good at chauffeuring others' chariots, others' cars. Archery isn't your job, okay? Act your age now, you little man of petty mean heart." And everybody laughed. Now Arjuna stood up. He had succeeded in similar occasion before and won the princes of Punjabi Empire. Everyone believed he will do it. They watched him with their whole being, breathlessly. He walked majestically and picked up the bow gracefully, fixed the arrow, and sat on his knee looking into the water. He gazed for 3 minutes. He located the fish exactly, then he shot. It went on slightly and touched the fish and struck the rooftop. The discus stopped. Judges ran down and saw. They declared it a case of failure. It was reset again. Arjuna bent his head down and heavy-hearted went to his dear friend and said, "Dear Krishna, my dear friend, get up. You do this job. You do this job for me, please. Bring my lost pleasure back. Bring my lost dignity back. With your victory, O Govinda, wipe away the hurt of my defeat by your success. Your victory will be far more blissful than my personal victory." And Krishna looked at Arjuna and smiled, and he said, "So be it, Arjuna, I will do it. I'll do it." And he added, "Just be happy right away in advance, okay?" Arjun, karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. This is my way of acting. Because victory and defeat are all alike in my philosophy. I act expecting nothing. I just exist doing nothing. And Krishna walked elegantly, gracefully, magnificently, with full confidence. He approached the bow and picked it up as a child does to a toy. Then he bent it and strung it, weighed it in his hand and fixed the arrow on it. Then he sat near the little pool in Vajrasana, on his one knee up front, while bow held up pointing to the sky, to the fish. He just glanced into the water for a second, spotted the target, and lo, he shot the arrow out. Breathlessly, the entire assembly looked in pin-drop silence, my dear friend. It went straight, pierced the fish, broken down in two halves. It fell down on the head of the judge. They pronounced victory, 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 grand success, festive music echoed. The conches resounded on, and flowers showered. King and queen, all relatives shouted aloud, bravo, bravo, and began embracing each other, my dear friends. Right then, as if lightning illuminated, a nectar oozed out of the curtain. The princess, dressed in 16 decorations, holding $9 million necklace, came with her lady friends, as if floating swan on the pool of a pond of bliss. She stood up on the stage, looked at the whole audience. She spotted her beloved, then approached Sri Krishna. She stood before him, love-laden glances tangled in coyness. Sri Krishna bent his head a little low, and Princess garlanded him, wreathed him, and she became Krishna's. Friends began to sing songs of union. Music echoed. The Vedic chants of union echoed. Once again, the age-old scene of Sitaram union was available to see. But again, the jealous kings in leadership of Jarasandha and Kaurava shouted aloud, "Grab the princess! Get her right away!" Success was only a technical expertise. Only technicians do that. We are warriors and archers. We will fight and get the princess. Big commotion arose, but no Parasuramji came from anywhere. Bhimsen and Arjuna rose up enraged with a terrible wrath, and the arena turned into a battlefield. Daruka pulled in the chariot. Krishna picked up the princess and lovingly set her in, and he also sat beside her. Then he said, "Dear Bhimsen, dear Arjun, I haven't yet paid your debt of my last wedding in Kausalyapur. I still owe you that. I cannot take another debt until it is paid off. So please go to Indraprastha. See you later, dears." Krishna bade a goodbye to king and all relatives to avoid big bloodshed right in the midst of the capital, near the palace. Heavy-hearted, they gave farewell. Arjuna was grinding his teeth in anger. "Because of these rascals, I lost my opportunity to attend my friend's wedding." But he was helpless. Words of Krishna has to be honored. Chariot sped up. Bhimsen shouted, "Krishna, you don't owe me anything, not even a dime. Let me come to handle these bastards, dear. Let me come to fight for you, to protect you." "No, Bhimsen can take a new debt. Too many debts are not good. See you later." The chariot ran fast. so that the troublemaker should leave the capital soon. And they did. They surrounded king on the way, but thousands of arrows sprang out from each single arrow of Sri Krishna shot from his Sharanga bow. A river of blood flew, heads and hands and legs and weapons were floating on the stream. Jarasandha and Shishupal and Karna and Duryodhana escaped. Krishna arrived safe in Dwarka. A new festivity began. The entire Dwarka city was decorated like a new bride. So it can receive a new bride. In countryside they say, Devo Bhutva Jet Devam. So also, bride Bhutva receive bridam. The king and ministers and all Dwarakians rained down in their best dresses, shining like angels, my dear friends. Oh, princess, let me hide in your bag. I am so scared of these wildlife. Sri Krishna said to Laxmanaa on the chariot, Help, help! Krishna said, Oh, princess, let me hide on your back. I am so scared of this wildlife. And then let's take bath in the sea and lay down in the sands for a nice sun bath. Where? No, Laxmanaa, princess wondered, where? Where is the wilderness? And where is the empty beach? Princess looked at Krishna with surprise, which doubled with sight of this heavenly city and lovely people. Krishna then said, Did not you say this to Devarshi Narada, dear madam, that Dwarka is a lonely sea beach infested with lots of wildlife? Oh, I see, said the princess, and she laughed wholeheartedly, and Krishna laughed wholeheartedly. The both laughter tangled in the space, and it is still resounding in Dwarka. It is still heard by the great devotees and yogis who visit Dwarka city. Krishna is laughing, Princess Laxmanaa is laughing. Krishna said, Okay, laughed enough, now let's do it. And the princess said, Do what? And Krishna said, Sea bath and roam in the forest. And princess said, But it is a magnificent rich city, I don't see forest. And Krishna says, In Vedanta philosophy, the world is an illusion. Howsoever the mind projects, it materializes likewise. So let's project a jungle. And princess said, In that case, let me project nothing else, my dear hubby. Let me project nothing else but you and you and you, my beloved hubby. May I do this, please? And Krishna began to smile from down up and said, No need to project. I am here personally with you. Just be with me and participate in my pastimes. And the princess said, Okay, my dear hubby, I'll do it. And this is my life now on. Oh.